What is going on, guys? This is Nothing But Bread here, and today I'm going to be presenting my brand new game mode that I coded myself called Conquest Mode from Star Wars Battlefront 2. The first thing I'm going to be talking about today related to this game mode is what the hell do you do? What is the objective? Well, the main objective in Conquest Mode it's very similar to that of the Battlefield mode, and it's identical to that of the Star Wars Battlefront version, which what I remade. Your goal is to reduce the enemy's troops to zero, or lower than zero, and you do this by killing enemy soldiers and by capturing and holding more objectives than the enemy team is. That's kind of how you do it. And if you're holding more objectives than the enemy team is, the enemy's team's troops will decline. The more objectives you hold, the faster they'll decline. And the same goes if your team is holding less objectives than the enemy team, your troops are going to start declining. And the more objectives the enemy holds, the faster it'll decline. So that's the end goal. Now, there's a lot of really cool battlefield mechanics you can use to outsmart your enemies, to maneuver around them, and just to have a lot of fun playing with abilities that you normally wouldn't have in a game like Call of Duty. First and foremost, let's talk about the general troop mechanics. Each team has slightly different classes. There are four general classes, which are available on each team. They're slightly renamed. They're the four general classes that you have at all times, and you can switch them whenever you want. You got two special classes, a special hero, and then collectively they both have an earnable hero that any person can earn by going on a slaying streak. The first team I'm going to be talking about is the Empire team. The Empire team's two special classes are the Dark Trooper and the Imperial Officer. The Imperial Officer is the first earned, and it reduces your class points the least when you die with the Imperial Officer. The Imperial Officer is equipped with a KSG and has the poison ability. And if you get within range of uses of this ability, any enemies caught within your radius of use suffer poison damage, and this will continue until they die, and they'll die in a few seconds. So yeah, that's a pretty effective. If you run in the middle of a bunch of them, use it. They're all gonna die unless they're a hero, and heroes are immune to this as they already have a similar thing going on to them when they spawn. The next special trooper they have is the Dark Trooper, and the Dark Trooper has a jetpack. It's the only normal soldier that has a jetpack other than for the heroes. And this objective jetpack comes with some disadvantages. They have less armor, which means they have slightly less health, but they can get their health boosted back up by visiting a medical droid. Be sure to drop by one of those if you're using this class. In addition, they have a sniper rifle and a nice, sexy pistol. That's really what the Empire special classes have. Now let's talk about the hero. The hero that you get at random on the Empire team is Darth Vader. Now Darth Vader has standard Jedi abilities that the heroes slash Jedi heroes have in my mode. They have a wide melee arc. That is, you get if you have around double the melee distance. In addition, it's radio, which means that they could be behind you and you'll still hit them if they're right next to you and you melee. In addition, that you also have the ability to jump high, do all that fancy stuff. You have faster speed, all that great stuff. The special ability that Darth Vader has that no other thing has in this mode is the ability to choke people. And the choking ability, which is activated pressing L2 when you have enough force power, which both Jedi have a limited amount of, and it regenerates over time when you're not using abilities. Usually, when you're around an enemy soldier that is at around your origin, that is, they can't be extremely high or low to you. They have to be right about your Z value. Being near them and pressing L2 will choke them. Their controls freeze and they suffer choking damage. You have to hold it for about a second and a half or so to kill most enemies. That's really wraps it up for the Empire Special Troops. Now let's talk about the Rebel Special Troops. The Rebel Special Troops are the Bothan Spy, the Wookiee Warrior, and Luke Skywalker. In addition, I'm also going to talk about Boba Fett, the earnable hero for both factions. The Bothan Spy is your stealth expert. The Bothan Spy has the ability to become invisible for 5 seconds. If you shoot while invisible, it doesn't disable your invisibility, at least at this time. I may add that in future updates. Nonetheless, you can use the stealth ability to get by some pretty nasty spots or strike by surprise. They have a suppressed shotgun and a suppressed pistol for ultimate short range elimination. That's what the Spartan Spy specializes in. Now, let's go to the Wookiee Warrior. The Wookiee Warrior has extra health and has an infinite ammo tri-bolt crossbow with variable zoom. The Wookiee Warrior infinite ammo allows him to provide substantial amounts of suppressing fire with a crossbow, in addition to having extra health for extended combat missions. So it's harder to take down a Wookiee than it is a regular soldier. In addition, the ability that the Wookiee warrior has, in addition to having a little bit higher health and an infinite ammo tribal crossbow, is the ability to heal nearby teammates within a certain radius. It sets the health to 150, which is higher than that of the medical droid, and you can only use it once a life, which is pretty useful if you got one Wookiee warrior in the team. You run into an objective, use it on all your teammates. Your teammates have extra health and can take a little bit more of a beating. However, the Wookiee warrior, because he's bigger and larger, moves a little bit slower than other soldiers. In fact, it's the slowest moving soldier of all. Now, the hero for the Rebel Alliance is Luke Skywalker. And Luke Skywalker has many of the same abilities that Darth Vader has, with the exception of Force Choke. He can run faster than other soldiers can. He can jump. He has a radial melee. That's his big things. Now, the ability that's bound to his L2 button, or the Throw Tacticals button, is the Black Hole ability. And what the Black Hole ability allows Luke to do is to go near a group of enemies, press L2 or Throw Tacticals, whatever system you're on, and as long as Luke gets out of the general area within 3 seconds, the enemies that were affected by it will teleport straight to that location, and an explosion is centered on that exact origin, killing them. And it's pretty fun to use, I have to admit. It's very effective for running in, tagging a bunch of enemies, and watch them go down with a bang. In addition, any unaware enemies running into that general area will also be annihilated by that explosion. Now let's talk about the general hero that you can earn no matter what. If your luck is bad, you can't get those heroes. You can always earn Boba Fett, and Boba Fett comes equipped with a jetpack for ultimate aerial surveillance, in addition to a very powerful pistol and hero health. The pistol has a good amount of radial damage and can kill enemies in 1 to 2 shots very easily. And this is very deadly against heroes. And oftentimes Boba Fett is the one thing that'll kill most heroes, due to the fact that the heroes have limited range attacks, while Boba Fett is great at all ranges. This weapon can be used to quickly dispatch heroes and quickly dispatch groups of enemies. In addition, the ability that Boba Fett has is the ability to launch rocket strikes in any location. Press L2, the ability will activate, shoot once at the target, and then to mark your target, and shoot again to initialize the target, and then a missile strike will occur on that location. You can use that to set up traps and ambushes. Overall, Boba Fett is definitely someone you're going to want to earn. You earn him by getting a 150 score streak, or that is just a regular streak in game. Now, since I've talked about the troops and the factions and all that great stuff, now let's move on to the general host menu, stuff that hosts are going to want to know. The host menu, which is found at the bottom of the little menu that comes up, that you can open, the notification comes up in game to open. Once you open it, you can navigate down to the host menu, and if you're host, you'll be allowed in. You'll find Force Host, White and Blacklist, and Kick All. Forced Host and Kick All are self-explanatory. However, the whitelist and blacklist, if you use my XP lobby menu, you know what this is. It's the identical functions from that menu, because it's my stuff and I decided to put it in. The whitelist can be configured by using the exact configuration guide that I'm going to link in the description. It's identical stuff without the custom configs. But anyway, that's how you configure it, and you can add people to this list and then enable it in game if you only want specific people getting in, and it's particularly useful if you're online and don't want people booting off left and right, which occurs very commonly these days. It seems like everybody carries a booter these days. VPNs are hard as fuck sometimes to hook up and get online with. So anyway, that's there. It's easily the most effective free measure that anyone can use against other stuff like that. In addition, you can configure the blacklist to prevent certain people from getting into your lobby as well. During this last part of this video, I'm going to be talking about the custom spawn system. The way to use this spawn system is to open up the menu that you have in game. It should be the top option on the main menu, and you'll get a menu that opens up with 6 options. You have default spawning and objectives 1 through 5. And what this allows you to do is to get a rent is when you spawn next time, assuming that your team still holds the objective that you want to spawn at, it allows you to spawn at one of 3 random locations in the area that are preset in the map edits file. And basically, what you want to do to use it is to simply open up the menu, select an objective that your team currently controls, and once you're done, assuming that your team still holds the objective and it wasn't neutralized or captured by anybody in between the time of you setting it as your spawn point and you actually dying and respawning in, you'll spawn at that objective. You'll get a notification if the spawn is canceled due to enemies capturing and or neutralizing it. So anyway, that's really that. If you don't get a notification when you press an option, it indicates that you can't set your spawn point to the objective because it's not controlled by you and or it's neutral at this time. So anyway, that's very useful, particularly something I know that many players in my betas didn't really use very much. Nonetheless, it's there, and you're probably going to want to use it if you really want to get tactical and stay on top of your enemies. Alright, now that was a bit of a video. Let's conclude with this. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill, and I hope to see you guys in another one of my videos soon. Peace out, and by the way, the downloads in the description, including links to forum posts that I posted this on. Peace out.